pretty excited that the seminar is over. My mind's pretty worn out. Not very mentally fit, I guess, to do this little games. Anyway, so I apologize for my incoherentness. Just, I guess what maybe when I first got here, I was pretty cynical looking at the monuments. Why do they build these freaking monuments that cost so much money? And for what? I mean, they're cool. Tourists go to them. Okay. I'm going to go listen to some has-beens. Alright. What do they know anymore? They haven't been in it for 20 years. And I learned a lot, actually. So, just to hear how people are pretty hopeful about the new administration. And I think every speaker has looked forward to the new administration. And what I really hope happens is we've heard a lot about the divisiveness in Congress. Even on the panel today, that the ones that had been out of Congress longer seemed to think that Congress was a place to get things done. The ones that, had been in as recently as '05 seemed to think that, it was a place where no one knew each other's names, and it was a broken system. And so it's been good to hear the positive comments and that things maybe will get better. And just the stuff on media bias has been really insightful. And just from our investigation and honors forum, go into that was interesting. Today, I really wish Steve Bell would have had more time.
We had our last day at the seminar, and we heard from Sam Donaldson and the congressional panel, as they said before. Some things I liked. I'm sorry, where was it? One of the, I think it was Robert Wise, was one of the former congressmen on the panel, had a good analogy about presidential transitions, and he was saying usually it's like a plane takeoff. It's really gradual, slow, and due to the pressing issues during this election in year, it's more like a rocket launch. And I thought that was a good analogy. And before him, Sam Donaldson talked about, really across the board, all of our speakers have been very hopeful about the Obama administration, but he said that he didn't want us to become disillusioned when things don't happen immediately, because they won't. It's still a process. It still needs to involve the other two branches. So anyway, those were good, and we went to a little cafe for lunch, and then we went to the National Portrait Gallery, which was really neat.
What was your favorite photo there?
I think actually they had a section on the Lincoln's inaugural, and I liked it was a big photograph of him giving his inaugural address, and I just like that because it's very a lot of people have drawn correlations between Obama and Lincoln, so I thought that was neat, especially with his inauguration coming up on Tuesday, and we will be there. So
So far, we've been here a week, listened to many people speak. Who's been your favorite speaker?
The ambassador of Pakistan, definitely. Talked about great things, about, wanting to do good in the world is great, but we need to listen to the people who we want to do good for. I think that's very important.
It seems to be a common theme as we've gone around the room, that everyone seems to think he was really, really good. Why do you think everyone in this room was so drawn to him and the way he spoke?
I think sometimes it's hard. I mean, I know some of us have traveled more than others, but we don't always get that international perspective. We kind of get a little bit jaded and used to the American perspective on things, and we need to remember about the rest of the world and what they need, what they want, and that will be the better way to do things.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Reflect, share your
things.
thoughts on the day.
Yeah, just on that note, what Molly was talking about, I think a lot of people, including myself, respected what the Pakistani ambassador had to say, because I think for the first time in our generation, it's becoming a common theme to not only respect a voice that's outside of the United States community and a perspective that steps outside of that box, but also search for it. And I think that's accredited to really kind of like the technological advances that have been taking place in regards to, you know, how inevitable it is that we are living in an interconnected world, and I think everybody really realizes that at this point. And so not only are we respecting voices that come from the international community, but we're searching for them and we're requesting them. And like, you know, what one of his main points is that, you know, we have to really essentially realize that we're part of the rest of the world, you know. And it's like a task, you know, for us to like step out of that mindset and realize that we're a part of the rest of the world. I think that this generation is going to pave a way where it's pretty much inherent in, you know, generations to come, that we have a full realization that we are part of the world.
And what things do you think the people in this room, what can we do from Johnson County Community College as students to help create that change?
Well, the first thing is conversation with those who have not shared the same experiences as we have. And we have a great international student body population at Johnson County Community College. And I've been very lucky through opportunities that I've had to be placed around a lot of those individuals. And I mean, just literally having simple conversations with them throughout the day, you know, can just slap you in the face and be like, whoa, like what? You know, like, okay, now I get it. Like, now I get that I'm a citizen of the world as a whole rather than a citizen of just this country. And just by conversation you build relationships, by relationships you build some kind of working progress with each other. And yeah.
And that makes me think of a quote by Mother Teresa that says, "Be the change you want to see in the world."
So far, we've listened to several prominent speakers, and I know that you've written about several of them, and you've talked about several of them. If you could choose one to listen to again at any point in time for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Ted Koppel, for sure. You know, just because, you know, and I'm kind of writing about this right now, but I mean, he kind of set the precedent in really, you know, flinging, you know, just kind of opening the door to the voice of, you know, the international community. And his speech was the first time where the seminar was analyzed and come from a different perspective other than just the United States perspective. Mm-hmm. But on that note, we've met many other people in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've had a backstage pass to distinguished speakers, and we, you know, look forward to sharing that experience with everybody. But we've met many others, and I would say that some of the experiences we've had just on the street with the people of D.C. have been just as profound.